Attendance was good, with 50 or more community leaders attending the annual meeting of the Paulding County Economic Development Group held at Burnt Hickory Park this morning. The event lauded the accomplishments of PCED over the past year, including the openings of the new Wellstar Paulding Hospital, the new Interroll and Ronchi plants, and an expansion at Simmons Industries. Former PCED board members were also honored, and PCED Chairman Mark Haney discussed the continuing rapid success of the Paulding Wellstar Hospital, which is not only gaining recognition nationally for its design, but exceeding benchmarks 5 years sooner than expected. The meeting ended with a recap of the challenges and opportunities facing the county that included bits on how the citizens can help the county reach its development goals.
One of the challenges is the high cost and time to develop our county-owned industrial sites. We confront this issue all the time with our prospects. So we need to be looking in the future for ways in which our parks, which do show fairly well, to make those sites more economical for businesses. So we can look at grading the sites. We can look at using tax incentives directly to the companies. We've done that for the 400,000 square foot project. We looked at providing the tax incentives to them in order to be able to do the grading themselves. But having the sites that are more developed ready or pad ready would certainly be something that will help. And we've talked with the IBA and with Blake about ways in which we can do that. So I think looking at this year, we need to figure out a strategy to do that. It will make us much more competitive with competing with prospects. The second is we have on the private side a very limited and expensive inventory of privately owned industrial sites. We have tried in the past with success to purchase distressed properties, meaning bank-owned properties that are reasonably priced, to use those sites to develop for industrial. It's very important that we keep our eyes and ears open for those opportunities that are out there. We also have to educate our property owners in the county on the true market value of sites. I'll give you an example. We have a project right now that's a small trucking operation. They were looking at the North Industrial Park. There was a site up there with land that was extremely suitable for this project. Went to the property owner and said, what are you asking for this property? We have a prospect that we need anywhere from 2 to 7 acres. The price that they came back with, $150,000 an acre. Now that's commercial retail property down in 278. This is what we see all the time with private owners in Paulding County. What looks to be a good opportunity is just so overpriced for us, we can't market the properties. So it's an issue that we have to work on with addressing it with property owners to be realistic about the real values of their sites. We can also provide for expanded industrial areas in the updated Paulding County Master Plan, Land Use Plan. I've talked to Ann and Chris about this. And as we go through that process, figuring out where the areas that are most conducive for industrial should be, we can also address this through zoning. And there's a couple of different zoning options, whether it's rezoning of properties, whether it's not rezoning properties that are not suitable for, say, commercial, but are more suitable for industrial, because that's what the land use plan says. So those are things that we need to be taking a look at, and the zoning is one way in which we can address it. Another challenge, no available and desirable industrial buildings. If you look at recent announcements here in our area, go down to Douglas County with the Keurig Coffee Project, they're going into a 500,000 square foot existing building. Other projects around Metro Atlanta are being driven by the availability of industrial buildings. The largest industrial building we have is a 25,000 square foot industrial building sitting down on International Court over by the hospital. It's an okay building. It's probably a Class C building. It has loading docks. It's not very desirable, but that's all we have when it comes to existing buildings. So the idea of taking a look at constructing a spec building, whether it's utilizing the IBA to do that or private developers through incentives, is something we have to address. We just need one. Just one will be a draw, and when you get them in here to take a look, it opens up opportunities for maybe new construction at a site. But if you look at what the state of Georgia, their Department of Economic Development, Georgia Power, Georgia MC, with the prospects that they have, overwhelmingly, 80% of them are being driven by existing buildings, which we do not have. And then the fourth challenge is lack of sewer service in key industrial locations. This is very much a problem over in the Hiram area, where we have several companies we're currently working with that are on septic and need sewer in order to expand, to add jobs, to add investment. They cannot work off the septic any longer. They have reached their maximum point. So figuring out ways to be able to get sewer to these businesses is critical. We're working to secure grants from state and federal agencies for the one project we currently have for the Sunnyland Industrial Park. That is a U.S. Economic Development Administration grant that we're pursuing. And that requires matching funds. So, utilizing PCED grants, other sources to match or provide the financing gaps is going to be critical as we move forward this year. So those are some of the major challenges for us. Now, what are the opportunities? I think one opportunity is that we have established for Paulding, with our economic development allies and companies, a reputation for Paulding as one of the best locations in Metro Atlanta for manufacturing operations. How do we keep that going and that positive impression? We need to continue to be aggressive with our business proposals and invest in the sites and buildings. Make those sites as shovel-ready, development-ready as possible. It's no secret also that I'd say for the last 6 months, Paulding County's reputation has taken a real negative hit in the press. Various stories, I don't care if we're talking about the back and forth at the airport, the issue with Silver Comet Trail, and the recent attack out there. It's been a series of negative stories for us the last few months. That takes its toll. The only thing that we can do as organization and as business leaders, community leaders, is just continue to do things that are positive in our activities, our initiatives and efforts, and begin to change that tide. We have to. It has taken a real toll on business development. And so if anybody hears from the state, Georgia Power, Georgia MC, companies, consultants, is negative news, it really, really negates our efforts. So we have to be conscientious of everything we do and do it in a very positive way. And I think Paulding County Economic Development, we do that. And I think that's important, that we all keep in mind that what we do has impacts beyond the county. Number two is that PCD is trusted by our economic development partners and businesses. We do deliver on our promises. If we tell a company, Interroll, Ronchi, Certified DEF, doesn't matter who the companies are we're working with, that we're going to figure out a way to resolve their problem and get it done, we do it. We need to continue to be aggressive problem solvers. When obstacles are placed in our path, find a way to either remove it or go around it. And we're going to do that. The example is sewer construction for the Sunnyland Industrial Park. We're going to find a way to get that done. That whole park needs the sewer, and there are two companies that are directly dependent on it right now. There's a third company we're working with. It's not necessarily in the Sunnyland, but they need sewer as well. We've come up with a plan for them as well. And then finally, the Paulding Corporate Loop with Wellstar, Interroll, Oak Parkway that we talked about, it does show exceptionally well, and it's drawn the strong interest from prospects. And it can be the catalyst for the economic development success that we want for Paulding County. I believe that the action is to take care of everything else that I just previously mentioned. If we do those things and take those action steps, we will then see the benefits we're looking for. So that's where we are. There's more than just this and these challenges and opportunities, but these are major ones that I see we need to address for this next year, and I think we will.